Hey, friends. Jesus cares about what you're going through. That's going to be the point for today's, our encouragement, devotional, sometimes rant. But that's the big idea today is Jesus cares about what you're going through. The story we're going to read is in John chapter 2, 1 to 12. It's one of my favorite stories in Jesus' life. And we're going to read the first three verses. Here we go. On the third day, a wedding took place in Cana at Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." See, just as they are today, weddings were a big deal in Jesus' time. They were a little different because there was lots of small villages all over the place. People had farming communities, or they were shepherds and they had to tend their flocks, and so they couldn't have a lot of people gathered. There were cities too, but this was out in one of the small villages. And so the people that were invited to this wedding, they would come from miles and maybe days. They had to walk to get there. And so when something like this happened, they ran out of, drink, um, regardless of what it is. When they would run out, there wasn't just a Walmart somebody could run down to and get more. They didn't have a gas station they could just bounce over or some place. It turned into a big deal that could affect somebody's health. Um, and so this would turn into a big point of shame for somebody if they were to throw a party or have a celebration and then they can't take care of the food or the drinks for everybody if they promise to, as it would be at a wedding like this. And so this was a huge problem. Um, and while it might not seem like that big of a deal, what I want to encourage you with today, or what I want what you think about, is that the hardest thing that someone's gone through is the hardest thing that they've ever gone through. And I don't know who said that first. I'm pretty sure I heard it on another podcast. But you might have gone through something terrible in your life. And you might be looking around at people who are freaking out about something small going on in theirs. And I just want to remind you, they may not have had the hard life that you had. And the hardest thing that they're going through, it's just the hardest thing. And so, how you react to something, what you would deem as catastrophic going on, they're reacting to something that you look at it and go, that's not that big of a deal. What I want you to understand is that Jesus cares about it all. Whether it's something big, whether it's something small, whether you're the person that hasn't had to suffer and you haven't had to go through anything very hard. Jesus cares, and you do recognize that. Jesus cares about that too. He's not nonchalant about it. He understands that this is the hardest thing that you've ever had to go through, or that you're going through a difficult season in your life right now. And so, we shouldn't weigh other people's pain and suffering and the things they're going through. We just need to understand that Jesus cares about them all. And even if nobody else cares about what you're going through, Jesus does. If no one else sees it as a big deal, Jesus does. He knows it's a struggle for you. And it just might be that if you've gone through some stuff in your life, instead of looking around at other people and like minimizing what they're going through, it might just be that Jesus is using you as the answer to their prayers to show them how to get through it. Not to shame them, not to lecture them, but to lovingly walk beside them and say, this is the way that we get through this. And so, just understand that Jesus cares. He knows what you're going through. And sometimes when they pray, and sometimes when we pray, God sends a person to show us the way. All right. Have a great day, and I hope this has blessed you. Bye bye.